Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I should say I'm very glad and honored to be here and give a speech in this wonderful organization. And also for the visiting colleagues, I hope you guys are enjoying your visit in Istanbul. So let me introduce myself. This is Dogukan, working for ZT Turkey, responsible for project management actually. So today I would like to give you my presentation about China's achievements, experiences and success stories, especially in 5G. So as you know, China is one of the world's largest mobile market, has been at the forefront of the 5G development. So like 5G, we believe that 5G represents not only a revolution in the telecommunication industry, but it's just also the beginning of the new digital era. And it will be reshaping our lives, societies and economies. So having said that, the 5G will be very crucial in terms of the digitalization of the world. Just to give you actually the content of my presentation today, I will just give you like a brief information of what's going on in like China in terms of some numbers and figures, and then I will talk about what has triggered this rapid acceleration of 5G in China, and I will try to tell you like in 4 different aspects. I will dig into it a little bit and for a couple of slides, and then at the end I will just try to touch base to 5G advanced. So if you want to take a look at some of the figures actually, so the expectation is by 2025 there will be 3.6 million base stations. And if you take a look at the charts in the below, like by the end of this year's Q2, there is almost like 3 million base stations. For the 5G users, we can just see that there is almost 700 million 5G users. You can see that. Data usage, the data usage is around 17 gigabyte per subscriber. We can say that. And as you see, there is a kind of downtrend ARPU in the recent years, but it's kind of reversed. As we can see, it's almost above 50 RMB per subscriber. And also the last thing is about actually the private networks and the B2B cases. So as you can see, there are a lot of more than 16,000 private networks for industry. China is also leading in this aspect. We can say that. Okay, so how this achievement realized actually? So maybe we can analyze this thing in 4 different aspects. First one is of course network deployment. Of course, you need to build a road to reach to somewhere. That's the must thing actually. Second thing is the service development and service deployment actually. Third thing is efficiency improvement, and the final one is actually B2B exploration. And all these things will lead to us to the 5G advance in the next 5 or 6 years. So I want to, touch base on these aspects one by one. If we start from the network deployment part, I will give you just 2 cases from China. The first case is the collaboration of China Mobile and the China Broadnet. First of all, I should mention that network sharing is very important to realize the accelerated deployment of 5G network. So the first example is showing that the national deployment by China Mobile and the China Broadnet, and especially their collaboration on 700 megahertz, and also they share other frequency bands, especially on the mid band in the later phases. So this is one of the use case realized in China. Second case is, before I go to the second case actually, other than the 700 megahertz sharing, there is also, because of the background of the China Broadnet. They have some TV media and the content background. So this is also kind of a collaboration in content creation and content management as well. So the second case I will talk about is the collaboration between the China Telecom and China Unicom. So as you can see in the map, so you can see that they just split all the country like almost like in 50% to 50%. We can say that. So this is very actually efficient in terms of the investment of the 5G. So, so having said all these things, so network sharing is very important, and by the benefit of network sharing, you can see the coverage, 98% coverage by 5G CTS, and also another important thing is actually 5G traffic ratio. Just in 4 years, 50% is something really aggressive, I can say. Okay. So in this slide, I will talk about how the strategy is realized when the 5G deployment, how the 5G deployment realized in China. So this, we can say that this is like a phase by phase. So just to highlight the 3 phases actually. First of all, just the main idea is just to provide some outdoor coverage, and then to provide an enhanced indoor coverage, and then finally just to provide the enhanced services or maybe very high the speeds or latencies in the special areas. So this is important because if you want to achieve all of these things together, it wouldn't be really feasible, because especially these days, like when you want to make an investment on anything, you need to make a feasibility from a financial point of view, and you just take a look at some economical and financial figures like IRRs, NPVs, or payback periods. So this is very important. So the main benefit of this approach actually, going phase by phase, is making the ROI, return of investment, in a more favorable figures. That's very important. Okay. So the second aspect was service development. There are actually 2 things in service development part. First of all, of course, you have to migrate the 5G. You have to migrate the legacy network subscribers to 5G. This is very important. And the second thing is, of course, you have to come up with the services, and also these services, should satisfy customer requirements and needs actually. So I will touch base the services in the next slide. But in this slide, I just want to talk about the offloading case. So China Mobile has some kind of approaches actually for onboarding the 5G users. So as you can see, there are just 2 models they just follow. One of them is the onion model. You can just think as when you create a marketing funnel, you just make sure that at the end of the funnel, you just make sure that the subscriber is activated on 5G and they have 5G coverage. So you just compensate their requirements actually. Another thing is a pyramid model, and this is just to analyze the 5G traffic backflow. And if you take a look at the chart on the right-hand side, by the end of last year, we can see that the proportion of 5G traffic is almost 50%. And if you take a look at the proportion of 5G users, it's almost around 33%. So these are really, aggressive numbers, I think. Okay, so regarding the applications and the service development part, as you can see, there are a lot of applications. Of course, one of the most common one is the mobile application that we use on our daily basis, like Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, these kind of things. And there are a lot of video streaming on these applications. And since the beginning of the program, everybody was talking about the new calling. So in the morning sessions, our colleagues gave some examples. And as far as I know, in China, actually there are two important use cases for new calling. One of them is you can just do all your, actions on an interactive way with the banks. You can do whatever, action you want. And also, it's also widely used in insurance, vertical. For example, if you have an accident and you just want to claim, or you just want to see how much the damage is in your car or vehicle. So these are the basically use cases in different verticals. So of course, these are the services, and this requires a lot of bandwidth, a lot of so the subscribers or the customers should feel that they are satisfied with these applications. So, the important thing is that the operators should satisfy the customers by giving them, the right resources actually. So here, for example, you can see some of the features like ZT is actually leading. For example, Deep Edge or X Edge are some of the features. What these features are doing actually, we are addressing what kind of services are given, and these services requirements, and what are the real experiences in the live network. So based on this information, you basically address and you basically provide the necessary resources to the services and the customers. Okay. So the third aspect is very important. This is efficiency improvement. There are two things actually. In this slide, basically I will talk about energy. Energy is very important all over the world. Energy prices are going up, and we have to manage it just to make sure that our OPEX, annual OPEX, our annual operational expenditures are not growing so high. So, operators are already started using AI-driven applications and features to make sure that these energy savings are compensating compensating the low expenditures actually. So there is a very good example actually on the left-hand side. So the example is saying that in 5G networks, using just only 1/3 of the base stations compared to 4G, and assume that having the 50% traffic on 4G part and the 5G part is just consuming the half of the power. So this is a very important figure that shows that the energy efficiency should be satisfied, and then by the 5G and by the activated features we can satisfy this necessity, basically. Okay. The second thing, important thing in the efficiency improvement is of course the automation. Automation is very important became very important in operators' lives, because we have operators needs to increase their operational efficiency, and they have to decrease their operational costs. So having said that, in China the mobile operators have a target by 2025. They want to realize the level 4 automation in their networks. Level 4 is, as you see, is very, requires very high autonomy. So, this is also very important. So there are some kind of aspects in the automation, like user experience, power efficiency. I will not just go in detail because of the time, but I can say that there are some ZT specific features like radio composer, power pilot, and coverage tuner. So these are the features that brings benefit in terms of automation to the mobile networks. Okay, the last aspect was B2B exploration. As you can see, in terms of private networks and B2B exploration, there is a huge growth in China. more than 6,000 private networks and a lot of applications and a lot of factory enterprises and a lot of verticals actually. The private networks are being deployed, like factories, like power grids, mining, or medical health. So these are some of the verticals. So each operator has actually a different approach. I will just touch base on the China mobiles actually here. So they have this BAF, which refers that basic network with advanced value and with flexible combination. What that means is actually based on the customer's requirements, they can just select the most fitted combination based on their service requirements. Also, I just need maybe a couple of minutes, if it's okay. I will just also touch base here, for example, China Mobile's service modes for the 5G private networks. They have distinguished their service modes into 3 categories. The first one is the premium one, second one is the exclusive, and the third one is supreme. So if I just want to explain them in one sentence, the premium service mode is actually just giving a slice in the network to the customer. Second one is the exclusive. This is still the slicing, but you just make sure that you just keep the data in the customer premises, and also you just do the traffic offloading in the customer premises. There is a ZT specific unique product called Node Engine. You just basically put it in your BBU. And the third one is the Supreme. Supreme service mode refers to you just give the dedicated private network to the customer. This is more secure and more robust. You just provide whatever requirement the customer is requiring. So just to make so this is we can just think of as a private networks framework. So with the customized to the point products and with the enhanced capabilities, you can just come up with these are kind of typical applications that you can use, like a machine vision, cloud PLC, mobile inspection, positioning, and many more use cases. And out of these use cases, actually, you can use these use cases in various verticals in industries. As you can see, manufacturing, steelmaking, power grid, mining, and you just name it. My last slide is going to be about, for the next 5 to 6 years, of course, we will be developing and deploying the 5G advanced. So the vision of the 5G is going to be, there are 3 things that we can just highlight here. Connecting the virtual and the real networks or the worlds together, facilitating the fully connected factories, and enabling the vehicle, road, and cloud collaboration. And also there are a lot of actually new use cases like low altitude economy, low altitude use cases, or high altitude ATG networks, and also in the satellite like non-terrestrial networks. So these are the topics that we will be talking for the next 5 to 6 years. So this is the end of my presentation. Actually, I would like to thank you, all of you guys, and if you have any questions, you're welcome, or you can just catch me anywhere here today.